Champions Cup round of 16, folks, and it's Northampton who will be going through to the next round with their 49 points to 41 win over Castres. Now, I've got to say, as a Kiwi, over the years, I've read a lot of comments on various social media platforms and whatnot that people can't watch Super Rugby because there's just no defence and it's touch rugby. Well, you Europeans, with your Six Nations and now your Champions Cup, been putting on some big scorelines of your own. Lawrence Delalio, who was on comms for this one, even made a point and said, well, it's not. There's this game, the defence is not bad. It's just we've had some crazy good tries. Yeah, you can. Sometimes you can have open games that aren't necessarily guys just not wanting to make tackles. You can just have offensively gifted players. 90 points. Entertaining way to start my Saturday morning here at NZ. And, yeah, not a bad way to kick off the Champions Cup round of 16. We'll go through some of the key events. They're largely tries because there's a lot of them to go through. And you guys can let us know your thoughts on the match. To sum it up, though, the kind of like too long didn't read is discipline. Castres conceded way too many penalties and had 3 yellow cards in this game. And Northampton, but for some poor handling, probably could have had more tries. I don't think they'll be happy with how their line-out went. The scrum was all right, which was going to be a question mark going into this one, but yeah, they blew some chances in this one as well. First scrum penalty actually went Northampton's way, but the first points went to Castres. It did not take them long to get on the board. It was a great scrum attacking platform from the Castres guys. They went blindside. Fernandez put a little grubber kick through from Mbanyang, and man, he's got some gas. Great identification of some space in the backfield for Castres. 5 points to 0 with a misconversion, and it was a quick-fire double turnover ball, shifting the ball left through the hands, finished through the fullback Shabwini, so 12 points to 0 away from home. And with the injuries that Northampton came into this match with, you're thinking, jeepers, maybe Castres are a legit chance here. The TMO did have a long check for a James Ram potential bounce back in the corner, but that man, Mbanyang, had tackled him just to get his foot into touch. It's bloody close. They probably could have given that one on a different day if the ref had said it's a definite on-field try, but no, there's a foot in touch. So try denied, but for Castres, it might have been better if they'd given that try, because from the resulting play, we end up with a penalty try and yellow card against the Castres guys from that kind of restart, because Northampton go on the break. McParland, the wee halfback who was into a bit of everything, he got high tackled by Mbanyang. So, I mean, the pass to McParland kind of looked a bit forward, but they don't really take a look at that. They just look at the high tackle, which stopped a sure thing try after, Kemeny, who'd had the initial break, popped the ball to McParland. McParland got tackled high. They look at the tackle high, and yep, there is a bit of handbags, but ultimately it's a penalty try. It's a yellow card, so 12 points to 7. Everything's going on. And then Castres decide to double down on the foul play stuff. Ducat, the big lock, with an unneeded no arms clean out on Henry Pollock. Maybe he just didn't like the cut of his jib, lined him up, took him out. So it's double yellow card, 15 players against 13. But to be fair, Castres did okay with 2 men in the bin. They had a bunch of phases down Northampton's end, ending up with 3 points on the board, which anytime you've got a double man disadvantage, any points are going to be most welcome, although Northampton still were able to score a try with the double man advantage. Penalty to breakdown, line-out move going close, and then Fischetti, the Italian international, going over from close range. So 14 points to 15. That is the halftime score, which is not, it doesn't look like it's going to be a 90-point match, but there's been some moments. There's no more scoring. Both sides missed some chances. There were some knock-ons. McParland had a line break, but they couldn't convert on it. Castres had a kick, which would have put them right down Northampton's end, but they missed touch. Northampton did opt for a 3 before half-time, which could have potentially taken the lead. So, yeah, she was kind of all over the shop, but there were no points scored in the final 10-15 minutes of that first half. Half-time stats, like the turnovers conceded is 13-10. Maybe both sides would like that to be a little bit lower. Possession and territory are pretty even. Neither side's line-out has been close to great. I think Northampton have missed a couple. Castres missed at least one. Line breaks is 4-3, although the official stats on the TV had it as 11-5. I don't think that's right. at least not what I consider a line break. Like Opta had it as 4-3. So I'm going to go with 4-3. The penalty count's 7-5 against Castres, and that's going to get worse for them in the second half. Perfect start for Northampton, though. Start the second half. On kick return, Furbank. Great identification of a front rower in front of him. He steps him, gets it to McParland, who's got the great support line, pops it to Kemeny. Try time. Northampton take the lead for the first time in the match. 21 points to 15, and they extend it with a series of lovely carries, like just over the advantage line. Northampton, when they get going, they are really hard to live with. Great hands. Bello to Dingwall, who's got a great offload, to Furbank, who gets it to Freeman for the try. So 28 points to 15. I'm starting to think Northampton are going to run away with this game, but every time they run away with it, Castres, to their credit, somehow come back into it. In this one, it is Tyler Ardron, the big Lucy Canadian, with the intercept from close range, just like disrupting Northampton's exit play. Was he onside? I guess, maybe. He just looked very offside because he was in front of everyone else. Maybe he's just got the quickest reaction times. So 28 points to 20. And then Arata off the bench, the Uruguayan 9. He makes a great impact. Forces the Northampton guys to kind of take it back, which leads to a 5-meter scrum for Castres. And from that, Karawa Levu just barrels through both Dingwall and Bello to make it 28-27. So it's back to being game on after seemingly being, pushed away, dead and buried. Karawa Levu looks to have taken the lead for Castres a minute later as well from an intercept, but then the officials, after allowing him to run length of the field from the intercept, which had started from the restart, they realize a little bit too slowly that there'd been a knock-on at the restart from Castres, so Northampton needed to have at least one phase of knock-on advantage. So they cancel the try after letting him run length of the field and celebrate and everything. So I guess right call in the end, but they probably could have done that one a bit quicker. And then Northampton score. Furbank, a great line. Maybe that's my favourite try of the match, because Furbank's line was just so perfect. Bello with the pass, and Furbank just gliding run. Makes it look so easy. Very sexy try. 35 points to 27. We're getting some tries. Line-out play, McParland got one on a support line to make it 42-27. Again, excuse me, it looks like they're kind of running away with it. But again, Castres are not done. Karawa goes close. Freeman makes a good tackle on him, but a few phases later, Potitu gets one to make it 42-34. Castres get a third yellow card, but it's not going to help their cause in the final 10 minutes. Dingwall gets a try to make it 49-34. Castres get the consolation through a Bud Young to make it 49-41. Bloody hell. It's a crazy game. It's a 90-pointer. I mentioned discipline. Penalties conceded is 12-6. So very much against Castres. Like Northampton just with the 1 in the second half. Whereas the penalty count kept racking up for the Castres guys. 3 yellow cards to zip. Line breaks finishes 11-8 to Castres. So they had some really nice breaks. Not all of them converted. Defenders beaten 27-21 to Castres. So they busted some tackles as well. Turnovers conceded as 22-16 against Northampton. That's what I mentioned about them being a little bit lacking that kind of clinical edge at times in terms of finishing chances of their own. But I mean, Furbank was great. Couple of line breaks, beat 4 defenders. Both the Castres wingers had 3 line breaks. Karawa had like 8 defenders beaten. He was a wrecking ball. Kemeny made 20 tackles. But yeah, crazy game. It's not just Super Rugby with the big old score lines. The opponent awaiting Northampton will be, I think, either Bath or Saracens, right? So it's going to be an all-premiership affair for the quarterfinals. So that'll be interesting stuff. But yes, a very interesting way to start the Champions Cup round. You guys let us know your thoughts on that one. And then I'm about to go have a look at some of the squads for the other matches in the round of 16, which have been announced overnight, at least while I was sleeping. But yeah, you guys take care, and I will talk to you guys again soon. See you later.